What is up, everybody? What is going on? It is your host, your favorite everything, JR Wisdom. I want to hope you guys had a great weekend. Let me turn this sound down some. It's supposed to be on the ones and twos. Keeping it quiet. How's everybody doing, man? I see you guys up in the chat. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, guys. I really appreciate it in advance. You know the goal, as usual, we're gonna run it up to 100 likes. I got an interesting topic. I haven't dropped any videos today, so I figured I'd go live based upon a DM that I received from a young man. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm gonna be talking about can pertain to anybody, man or woman or whatever, which is something that folks are dealing with in terms of getting somebody back, or they feel like they messed up, or maybe you didn't mess up, or maybe you don't know what the hell you did and they just ghosted you, and you're like, where do I go from here? How do I get this person back into my life? I was in love, all these things like that, man. But I'm gonna give you guys my perspective on it, and you guys can take from it whatever you want to take from it. But I just felt like it's something that anybody can use this information coming from somebody who's messed up or who didn't mess up and try to get somebody back, and it just doesn't work like that sometimes. But anyway, man, few housekeeping rules as usual, guys. If you don't mind commenting, for those of you, I like to know where you guys are checking in from. You see the age, gender, location, or as opposed to the ASL, age, sex, location, whatever have you, whatever suits you. Age, gender, location. I like to know where everybody's checking in from. It's always important for me to know those things. I like to fellowship with you guys as usual. So, also, you see it pinned in the chat. You guys feel free. This is, as all my shows are, a call-in show. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to call in. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna get right into it. Pop my little fresca here. So, buddy that DM me, right? Buddy was like, "Yo, Jr. I messed up with this woman a year and a half ago. Can't stop thinking about her. Something along those lines. I didn't treat her like I should have treated her. I was just playing around. Now I'm trying to get her back in my life. I'm trying to win her back. How can I do it? What do I do?" And this is not unlike a lot of people. It's either two ways. Either you messed up, or they dumped you. They just left you because you messed up, or they just dumped you and you just want them back for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. Well, I always say, is the person worth it, is the first thing, because I'm not always going to advise you like, oh, don't go after, you love who you love. And sometimes when you guys are head over heels over people, you can't get them off your mind. You can't get them off your brain. Like, how do I stop thinking about this person? This person was the love of my life, JR. You know, they rocked my world. They blew my socks off. Basically came faster than FedEx. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better term, y'all excuse me. You know what I mean? But they just blew my socks off, and and some of you ladies have run into guys like that as well. That you just can't get that same feeling with the person that you're searching for. You're searching for that same person in other people. You know what I mean? See, we got H Town as usual, New York in the building. Shout out to Alabama. Got Georgia in the building. But yeah, you're searching for that person and you can't find them, right? And you may walk in a store, you may watch, you may hear a song, all these different things, or just a smell, a scent. You may run into a woman or have walked past a woman that had the same perfume that she wore or same scent. And it just takes you back to that point, and you're like, man, you know, should I text her? Should I not text her? You know what I'm saying? Maybe this guy, maybe she's with somebody else, so on and so forth. What do I do? The first thing is, what is it that you miss about this person? Other than what I just said, because that's not always a good reason. If it's just sex, that's not always a good reason. If this person was there for you, if this person held stuff down, there were your emotional support, They helped you out of a funk, and a lot of people tend to take that for granted all the time. They helped you out financially, helped you get back on your feet, stood by you, stood tall. Was that listening ear? Was that person that was your kind of like your ride or die, but you basically forsake them and they just went on about their business or whatever, or you cheated on them. You know, the thing is, whenever we think about trying to get somebody back or pursuing somebody or chasing them and things like that, we have to realize what is it really that makes us want them back? Are we in love with them or we just miss having them around? Do you have problems? Do you have a scarcity mindset? You know what I'm saying? Is that what's going on? Because sometimes you don't. People think that they can meet, and that goes for men and women. They think that they can meet someone else that's exactly like them, but they're not always. You don't always encounter the same person. Sometimes you only meet people once in a lifetime. But on the flip side of it, if it's just something simple, something trivial at the end of the day, and you guys really haven't had that much of a bond, if there was no bond there, guys, you have to realize that nothing lasts forever for one. You just have to leave it at that as just a memory sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to Some people get into this cycle of trying to revisit old things that no longer exist, right? That time was that time, and you basically have to have some pride, man. A lot of you are, chasing people that really don't want anything to do with you. You're trying to force them or pressure them into being in your life. You're trying to enter their story and get them, hey, I know you're doing your thing. You got your story over here, but I want you to come back into my story. I want to edit your story that you got going on, and I'm begging you to come back, which people end up doing. They end up begging people, and it makes you look even worse. Nobody likes a whiner, a beggar, or a complainer. You know what I'm saying? Please be with me. Please be with me. Please be with me. You know what I'm saying? Or some of you get emotional and you'll say all these bad things about the person and still try to be like, so will you come back to me? And it's like some bipolar stuff. One minute you're this way, and the next minute you want them to be back in your life. Which one is it? Sometimes you just have to let things go, man, and stop revisiting stuff because all you're doing is causing pain. You know what I mean? You're causing pain. I see we got Rock Hill in the building. You're bringing this pain. You're revisiting, along with the good memories. You also have to think about the bad memories, which is what people say. I used to hate hearing that when people would be like, you know, um, you have to think about bad memories of the person. Why? Why would you force yourself to think about some bad things? But I'm not saying you're supposed to discount either or, good or bad. It's good to have fond memories of that person, but you can't, by forcing yourself to think about something negative about this person. I don't think, for some people it may help, but for the majority of the time it won't. You know, there's so many people out here when you feel like there's a level of comfort why you wanting to go back to that person, instead of a lot of you of being afraid to go out and experience new people. There's so many people out there for you to meet that you guys may have met on a whim, walking in somewhere, and you guys have end up talking, texting, things like that. So why can't you repeat the process? How to win friends and influence people. If you haven't, some of you guys are naturals, but you still want to revisit the whole thing. You still want to revisit a toxic situation. You got good memories, but you also have bad memories as well. If this person's not beating down your door, I mean, some people, they may not even know that you want to you apologize. Do you want to get back with them? That's the flip side of it. But if you want to be sincere and apologize, be sincere and apologize to that person, regardless if you've done it in the past, and they accepted it or not. If you've already done it, you're doing the best you can, whether you were sincere or not. In terms of that, shout out to Akbar. I'm assuming it's. I always mess your name up. I'm assuming it's Akbar L Yeshua. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the $1 super chat, man. Shout out to you. But if you apologized already, you're doing the best you can, guys. You apologize sincerely. You may have invited that person out, invited them back out on a date, tell them you want to hang out and things like that, and they decline. You have to give people time and space sometimes. If you want to keep revisiting it like over, oh, let me do the 30-day. A lot of you guys you hear about this 30-day rule, 30-day no contact. Sometimes if it's been a year of no contact and you haven't heard from that person, especially if you're the one that messed up or quote unquote didn't mess up, and you reach back after a year and they're still like, bro, sometimes you just gotta let it go, man. We look at things through, what is it called, rose colored lenses or rosy glasses, red glass, those glasses. As time goes by, people forget things, people overlook things, and maybe feelings will change. People do change every day, just like you're changing every day. So you worry yourself of, if I only did this, if this, if only I had said this, if only I didn't do this, if only I didn't mess up, man, you're gonna beat yourself up. It happened the way it happened. If the apology isn't accepted, maybe that person isn't ready to talk. You can't force anybody to talk to you. And that's what a lot of people think, that they're entitled to somebody else's time. Men and women. You think you're entitled, like somebody has to talk to you. Nobody has to talk to you, right? It's you enjoy whatever time you have, and sometimes you'll just have to leave it at that. It's just a memory. You know, the person that you feel like, this is the only person that ever loved me. GR, this is the only person that ever loved me. Nobody else is gonna love me ever again. There are plenty of people out there that's going to love you and want to be with you. But if you're hung up on one person, how are you ever gonna, you waiting for somebody to heal your heart? Somebody will come along and take away all the pain that this person did. How could they just up and abandon me? How could they do this to me? How could they treat me like this? How can't they see that some of you guys have gotten down on knees, simping, sending all the stuff that I'm saying, I've done it all. I've gotten down on knees. I've sent roses, flowers. I've called. I've sent, love letters or love texts, whatever have you. No amount of anything, because you have to look at, I look at things through a divine perspective too, on some spiritual time as well. We try to, and I keep talking about force. There should be no force in any relationship. It should be like water. Y'all hear about everything should flow. What flows, flows. What crashes, crashes. We hear about that all the time. If it's not meant to be, there's nothing that you can do to change it. There's nothing you can say or whatever. Whoever you're meant to be with, they'll always find their way to you. They're always going to find their way to you. So you don't have to rush anything. You don't have to come up with this magical line. If I say this, well, let me watch this video on let me watch this video on, because I'm not here to tell you any shit like that. Like, you watch a video, and by saying this magically, this one phrase will get her or him back in my life. Sometimes people are just done with you, man. Some people may entertain you, talk to you, you know, a little text, you shooting, they respond, they text back. They just made your day. Meanwhile, this person may not have even been thinking about you. But it just made your day, the fact that they texted you back, right? That just made it. You're letting everybody know, oh, he or she responded. Oh man, I think she might like me. I think it might be on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, she just didn't have anything going on at that point. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You can't put things, whatever, people have to show you with their actions instead of what they're saying. And that's the same way they're looking at you. Maybe you messed up. You said something to hurt their feelings. You know what I'm saying? You've done something to them. And they're looking at it with that's just lip service that you're providing to them at the end of the day. They can't take you seriously. Or maybe they have this thing, they have this If you think about it, you're only good as your last transaction with a person. First impression, last impression. Last impression being a lasting impression. If that's how they remember you, that's how they're going to associate you. They're going to associate everything with this character that they have in their mind, regardless of how much you may have changed, how much you may have worked on yourself, how much you promise to do these things. Because you'll promise everything in the world to someone, and a lot of you guys, we see the things where people lose weight, they get jobs, they get a new job, and things like that. I've changed, I've lost weight, I've done these things all for you. And the person is just like, feeling's not there. You know what it's like, and just like them, you have to practice that art of detachment. You know what I mean? You have to practice that art of detachment and get your ass on with meeting other people because that's the only way. Guys, there's 30 people in here, should be 30 likes, man. Stop being stingy, hit that like button. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, quit playing around. You know what I'm saying? But you guys have to get out and meet people, man. Get out and meet people instead of sulking. You going through their Instagram and Facebook. You're looking at old pictures in your Amazon memories, your Facebook memories, all these different little things that show you the little memories or the anniversaries of when you took that picture. Guys, get over it, man. You're on your journey, they're on their journey. Like I said, you may not even be a thought that crosses their mind. They may think about you all the time. Who knows? Maybe you won't know, maybe you'll never know. It's something they'll keep to themselves. You know, you had your chance. I'm not about providing, you know, being unrealistic with folks in terms of things, you know. But I think that's the learning process for a lot of us is you have to go through those things and realize that nothing is to be forever, even if they were to come back to you, right? Would you would they accept you? Would you accept them based off of what has happened, what's transpired? We're old girl and them. I don't know what you're talking about in terms of that. It's just certain things, man. Like a lot of us with cheating, right? A person cheated on you, and you want to get back with that person, even though they cheated on you, because for some reason you feel that you're not good enough because they decided to cheat on you and or left you for somebody else. And a lot of us want closure that you may never get. Closure is a hell of a thing, man. When you're seeking closure from someone and they just leave you on red, they won't communicate with you, and you become neurotic and ah, how come they're reading my messages, they're leaving me on red, they haven't blocked me. They're looking at my stories, they're doing all these things. What's going on? What happened? Am I not good enough for this person? If you got your answer, how much would it matter to you if you got your answer at the end of the day? What if they told you you were good enough? Then what? What if you found out you weren't good enough? Then what? What's the move? You know what I'm saying? What's the move? What it boils down to, guys, is ego. And I think your ego, if you haven't gotten over it, your ego is gonna keep you, even though it's supposed to protect you, your ego is gonna keep you in some places you don't necessarily want to be at. And it's gonna cause some heartache, some trauma. If you're like a lot of people like myself, where you get into a point with certain things until you learn to get over it, like it's methodical. Like your mind will replay some things until you just learn to just detach. And that ego will tell you, hey, this person didn't think you're good enough. Maybe you're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? They went along. Why did that? I look better than such and such, or I got more money than such and such. How could they? You know what I'm saying? How could they have done that? All I did was say this. All I did was do this. Or what could, or maybe sometimes your ass just get ghosted, right? And sometimes you don't even know what did I do. People just ghost people. People just stop talking to you. Sometimes you'll never know. And that's fine. You don't ask. A woman told me in my early 30s, don't ask why. As a man, this is a woman telling me this. Don't ask why. You know what I mean? They're your ex for a reason. Bro, there's just as you got that ex or that person, there's more people out there. There's tons of people out there. There's tons of good people out there. Not everybody's good though. I'm just saying there are good people out there, and you're blessed if you just meet somebody that you click with and there's no issues and they're that right person for you. You don't have to worry about they're that right person, but how rare, how rarely does that happen? Some people meet that person and they are their forever person, if you will, and they just stick it out for eternity. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you gotta, as the ladies like to say, sometimes you gotta kiss a few frogs. Some of you dudes gotta kiss a few frogs too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Sometimes you have to go. Some of you have had good people, but you just weren't ready for it. At the end of the day, you just weren't ready for it, and you have to come to terms with that and admit that. Men, I think we have more a way of being accountable in terms of that than women are. Women will just say, "I was perfect. I didn't do shit." You know what I'm saying? When all reality, when you actually sit down and you're bone cold honest and you think about some of the stuff that you've said to a person, some of the stuff you've done to a person, some of these things, men are a lot more tolerable when it comes to these things than persist. I can't see you. You know what I'm saying? I see you in the why every time I say somebody's name they drop off the call? Y'all afraid of me, man? Come on, man. Cut it out. Y'all will call in and fall off. Men are a lot more tolerable of things that women do as opposed to vice versa. That's why I say we talk about dark psychology and things like that. Women will be quick to say if a man gets you attached, then he acts or conducts himself in a certain way. It's dark psychology, Jr. All that is, once you get a woman attached, you can get away with all those things that she gets away with, just in general. It's just how it is. That's just the way women operate. She has to be in love with you. She has to be head over heels in love with you in terms of that attachment factor. You know what I'm saying? And it's what you should all strive to be doing. Men have infatuation and men are in love, and men just who aren't in control of their emotions, they go off the deep end and do all of these crazy things, not knowing that it's pushing the woman further and further away. Same thing with men. I mean, women do stuff, that makes them look super thirsty and super desperate at times. But a man may knock you down on the slide because he just feel like, okay, she's going all out. Hey, I need you to buy me this. Come through and do this. Get this. Bring this other chick. I need you and your best friend come through. You know what I'm saying? And if she really wants you, she'll oblige. Women do things, and I don't want to get too far away from the topic in terms of this, but women do things when they really like you. Your money doesn't matter. The clothes you wear doesn't matter. Where you take her and things like that. It really doesn't matter when she likes you. And that's a totally, completely different video, which some guys tend to think that. But it's not impossible to get a woman back, but you have to humble yourself in terms of ego and try. There's a quote by and a lot of you guys don't say take advice from women, but it's pride. It's if you feel a woman's worth it, and then there's just straight up simping. In the words of Erica Badu, she said something that someone asked her a question one time in reference to this exact same topic. How do you get over someone? Or if you're trying to get them back, you're like, how do I get someone back? Or how do I get over someone if you still want to be with them? If I still want this person, what do I do? She was just like, yo, just go into simp mode. Keep calling them, keep getting hung up on, You know what I'm saying? That texting stuff is just like whatever, you know what I'm saying? But keep attempting to contact this person, until eventually, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but for those of you who just can't get it in your head that this person doesn't want to be with you, go through those torturous places till you evolve or detach. I'm not telling everyone to do this, but if it's bothering you so much that where you can't do anything but think about this person, this is what kind of like what she's saying. You keep doing that until eventually you realize that this motherfucker don't want to talk to me. She don't want to talk to me. She doesn't. She's not answering her phone. I've called her 30,000 times, but by then you guys should have got the hint. I'm not talking about show up in somebody's house and things like that. But eventually, yeah, a restraining order and things like that. I know, right? This was her thing. Eventually, you'll evolve at the a certain time, you know. And with people like this, I really think that you don't have anything else going on in your life too. But you have to be able to occupy yourself, and if you're on your purpose and doing what it is, and you got other things going on, not to say that you can't have a heartbreak and still have stuff going on, because that's one of the worst things is having to go to work or having something to do and you're completely distraught over someone, and they're all this stuff is in your head. They're living rent free, they're controlling you, for lack of a better term, or your thoughts, or you're not controlling your thoughts because that's all you can think about is this person, and they're not making any attempt to reciprocate in the situation. These are unrequited desires, basically, at the end of the day. Unrequited desires. And you feel like all will be well if I can just get this person. And once you get them, it's an overrated thing. And you're like, man, I was better off staying single. Or not staying single. I was better off not doing that. You know what I mean? So, can you get them back? Yeah, you can get them back. Do you want them back? Can you get someone else? What's easier, getting them back or getting someone new? Can somebody answer that for me? While I enjoy my little beverage here, is it easy to get someone new or get them back? I mean, I figured that as well too. You know, you revisit the old things, man. Revisiting old things doesn't always turn out the way you want it, man. It's just a bruised ego. I've been down that path where a woman ghosted me. This was like, yeah, this is 5 years ago. She ghosted me. I started working out in the gym every day. Got down to 10% body fat. You know what I'm saying? I got down to 10% body fat. I looked amazing, right? And while I was going through this metamorphosis and I was learning about myself and things that I need to control, you know what I'm saying? I could have been applying this shit to another woman instead of focusing on this woman who was obviously dating. You know what I'm saying? She's obviously dating, dealing with other people, not even thinking about me. Long story short, I did get her back, but I got on some simp shit to do it, right? Which I don't recommend. But I got in, I chiseled myself out, worked on learning more about myself and evolving just for this person, which was old news, right? And if I could say anything to you, it wasn't worth it because she didn't change. Because it's not always you. The person that you want hasn't evolved. They're still at that same place. While you're doing all these things to improve yourself, especially if they had things you didn't like, they didn't work on those things. Meanwhile, you're working on these things that they told you that they didn't like about you. But you end up getting back with them, and I'm telling you from personal experience, they didn't change any. And it's just like, well, I did all this for you, which was selfish of me and an ego thing, and you're still an asshole. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mahalia Cheetah for the $1 super chat. I'm getting a lot of ones in here tonight. Shout out to everybody that's dropping the ones. You know, hit that like button. You guys are being stingy. I appreciate everybody hitting the like button. You know, we trying to get 100 likes tonight. So quit playing. I need 100 likes. We're 30 minutes in. I'm gonna keep it, and nobody's gonna keep it honest with you. I'm gonna keep it honest with you, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, based upon or tell you somebody is this way or these hoes are like this, these men are like this, and I'm gonna just keep it funky with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my channel is about, and that's what it is. But yeah, we do these things to we go on these soul searching missions and retreats of improving ourselves. Even the booty model that you see on Instagram that you might be trying to get with, or the chick over on this side, or this beautiful woman that may have rejected you for whatever reason, or maybe she just wasn't into your ass. Uh, same thing. If you hear all these stories, she broke up with, which you don't really hear that she broke up with me because I was fat. You hear the women say he broke up with me because I was fat. But you go through this metamorphosis, and the person that you go back with hasn't changed a bit. There's still that same selfish person, or they still have those same characteristics, those same traits that you find to be unbecoming, but you want to get next to that person for ego's sake. Are they giving you a place to stay? Were they paying your bills? Were they, building you up? The question is, were they giving? What were they giving me? What were they doing for me? That's how you determine if it's worth it. And if it doesn't happen, guys, just let it go. Let it go. Some people are in small towns where that may be the best that you can get. But you better believe if it's a small town, somebody else is getting it in with that person. You know, some people go months without talking to each other, even when you reach out to somebody. If somebody can go that long without talking to you, do you really want to be with somebody like that? These are things that we need to think about. Do you really want to be with somebody that ghosts you without telling you what's going on? Do you really want to be with that type of person? But I don't think we think about that. We're in love with that idea. We like that feeling that this person gives us. Sometimes that feeling is only when you're in bed too. You know, maybe at once upon a time that person, boosted your ego, made you feel sexy, made you feel alive. Maybe that was their job. Maybe that was their job, and you guys crossing paths. They were supposed to make you feel sexy, right? In that moment, you were supposed to feel electric. So it's up to you to maintain that shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep that same energy, improve yourself, and go on to the next. If it's meant to happen, it'll come back. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to beg people. You don't have to beg somebody to love you or to be in your life. That's what you don't want to do. And even if you did, how would you feel afterwards? And how do you think they would feel about you? Nobody respects that. Women don't respect it, and men don't respect. Nobody respects somebody who's begging. You know, it's very unbecoming. You want somebody that you feel like is on even playing field as you, or better. A lot of times, when I say better, that's typically how it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially women. Women want to feel like the man is better than her, not a peasant or a peon that's groveling at her feet to come back and be in her life. Meanwhile, the guy who really likes doesn't pay her any mind. We have to be honest with ourselves when it comes to these things. Guys, when you have some of these women who come back and say they'll do anything, you just want to use them, you know? And that's kind of like what it is. You kind of like when a woman comes back begging you like that, If you're on that type of time, you'll just use her. Because at that point, that's when she'll do anything to get that back. And she may even turn back to her old ways when you get back. When you let somebody back in, they'll go back to their old ways immediately because there's a sense of comfort. They start getting comfortable again until you remove your attention. Then things change. She wrecked your G Wagon and you lost $1 million in 2020. Man, what kind of deal? What you got going on? Mussolini. This broad trying to sell the house and got the money in her eyes talking about I get what I put in, which half. Yeah, sorry for you, man. You if you're going through a divorce and all that, hey, you know, it's cheaper to keep her, but sometimes a woman got her eyes on the prize of getting you up out of that situation. And for the ladies, if he left you for a woman, hey, hang it up. It's not the last man. It's not the last man. If a woman says she'll do anything, sleep on your stomach. Wow. I don't know, bro. Y'all, you sleep on your stomach. Goodness, man. I don't know, but guys, just don't be pressed. When you feel that urge, when you feel like it has to be. You'll know when the energy's there. Sometimes you get back together for one night and that's just it, and you guys get right back to arguing. If you like to argue or if you used to arguing, go for it. But a lot of times, that arguing stuff, man, that's one sure way to know. Unless you just like I said, unless you just like arguing, that's one surefire way. If you can't go a day or some hours without arguing with someone, you guys don't need to be together, man. You guys are getting married to people that you arguing with regularly, like constantly. You can't make it through the day. What's going on here? You know what I mean? Love is one in a million. Shout out to Aaliyah. Rest in peace. I mixed it up with a very successful woman. Yeah, I mixed it up with a very successful woman. I came up and blocked her for a year and she wanted back in after she realized then guy she moved in her crib was a monster. She wants me back and now. Like I said, this goes for men and women. When you're going through a breakup, you usually tend to go back to somebody that's familiar to you. You know what I'm saying? That could be an ex, that could be an orbiter that you may have friend zoned and things like that. But it's that familiarity, especially when you realize that, for lack of a better term, this person did treat me good. This person was good to me. Women go through that a lot. Men go through it a lot. Hey, they've done movies about it where you just want to get that old thing back. Hey, I messed up. I'm sorry. I was an asshole. I thought I had all these hoes. You know what I'm saying? But these hoes only wanted one thing. That goes for men and women. You know what I mean? You can look me up. I swear I ain't lying. I got 8 box trucks sitting, only running one because she got my second son, and I ain't trying to be no 3-time loser. Sorry to hear that, bro. I hate to hear that men go through stuff like that and people go through this. I have her on my roster for fun. She knows I would never move in with her. Argue with ex like once a week or so. He cheated 2 months ago and lied about it to me until 2 weeks ago. The day before he left was finding condoms. I bought on him. We don't use them. I find out a lot of times, man, there's a thing I believe, and this is talking about something else. Like, you tell a woman the truth, she'll love you more. I'm just speaking in terms of an attachment. So, he cheated 2 months ago and lied about it to me until 2 weeks ago, and the day before he left. So he left. So you were still sticking with him after you knew he was getting cheeks? It made him more attractive in your eyes? I'm not judging you. I'm just asking a question. Your ex like the rearview mirror. You broke up with him? Okay, got you. Yeah, man. If somebody's stepping out, you know, people realize things, man. They realize things, and it's all about what you're willing to tolerate. You got fond memories of the person. Some people we have history, and they try to use that as leverage, um, as some sort of, hey, we have history, leverage. Um, where else can you go from here? Let's get back. And, you know, some people think people will be there forever, regardless of how they conduct themselves. And this goes for women too. Definitely goes for women. Like they can act a certain way, and you're just gonna stick it out because you have been doing it. But once a person knows that you're not gonna tolerate anything, they won't ever transgress any of those limits unless they have something already set up on the outside. But somebody who truly loves somebody, they wouldn't do anything to lose that person, which is something completely different. Hence why, if you messed up, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you do things that you don't, and this is on in shorter relationships. You know, sometimes that person isn't ready. Sometimes that person has insecurity. Sometimes that's that person's way of dealing with things is just to run. So that let them run. Any person that just doesn't feel like they have to tell you anything, and that's how they move throughout life, and they're going to continue to move throughout life. Because that's a coping mechanism, is to run and not talk. The silent treatment, things like that. But what they say, know your worth. Somebody comes back, and it's something. Sometimes it's just too late. The moment you let go is that's when somebody shows up. You've been wanting this person back in your life, and the moment you just say you don't care anymore, it's just like, you know, I don't even look at you through the same lens anymore, because I see you with an objective heart, for lack of a better term. I'm looking at you through an objective lens that, it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. My emotions were involved, and it was just my ego instead of operating out of the heart space, which the heart space would immediately let that person go outside of trying to communicate your feelings, but you would immediately let that person go and let them do what they're going to do, but not allow yourself, and you value yourself enough to move on in life. So that's my thoughts on it, man. We must learn to let people be them and let them carry on and not tolerate abuse, and have respect for ourselves instead of lowering ourselves, you know, to a level where we're at someone's feet, begging them to spend time with us and begging them to be with us when they're really indifferent about the whole situation. And I think a lot of people spend so much time with coaching, therapy, which I get it, coaching, therapy, counseling. A lot of the sessions I've had with people is getting over an ex. You know, I think the majority of them, yeah, the majority of the sessions I have with you guys are just getting over an ex. And this 45-minute video is kind of like not specific to your situation, but pretty much what I tell people is, what value is it at the end of the day? I didn't have that when I first went through my breakup. I didn't know what the hell was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been with that person for so long. I didn't know how to process it and what to do and things like that. But once you go through that stuff, and then you realize that you know what I'm saying? So for people to have their heart broken several times, I'm like, damn, where they do that at? How are y'all allowing this to transpire? You getting your heart broken continuously? You know what I'm saying? You're allowing somebody to do this to you over and over. Well, let me rephrase that. You're allowing yourself to fall in that space. You know what I mean? You know, this dude always talking about tricking. Tricking will always set a man free. I mean, regardless, when we get into stuff, whether you tricking is a temporary thing. If you can detach yourself to that point, where that's your social connection only is when you're paying for something. I mean, so be it if that makes you happy, man. But a lot of people crave, especially the older you get, they crave long-term companionship, not just that short-term girlfriend experience, to get some things off. So, I hear you though. Don't nobody know I'm going through this shit because everybody business is nobody business. Bro, I swear I'm going through after 11 years with this hoe. Damn, 11 years with this hoe. Hey man, it's all gonna turn out in your favor, man. As long as you're all I have to say, as long as you're confident in yourself, which you guys already should be. If you got one person, you can get somebody else. You can pull somebody else. You can attract somebody else. You just have to be in alignment with yourself and not looking at like, woe is me. I'm never gonna get no more hoes. It's over. It's over. This is the only person that's gonna love me. This man told me that I'm not gonna be able to get anybody after him. I don't see how men tell women that because ladies, you can just walk out the door right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's gonna be a man of substance, but at least you'll never be lonely. That's for sure. But you can't like you've gotten someone before. Why can't or do you feel like you're too old? Because some people I feel like you do go through breakups, which I can understand it being very traumatic when you're maybe in your and I'm not because 50s is considered young these days too. But I can see if you're like in your 60s and 70s and things like that, and but there are things that has made the world a lot smaller to connect to people. So it's never really over, man. It's never really over. You have this scarcity mindset, even with the divorce, man. That shit was the worst thing that I felt was happening to me. But there's some positives that's taken. Things happen for a reason, man. You have spiteful women. We have this country. We must understand that this is what happens when you get married. And a lot of people will say, you didn't realize that this person was going to do this. No, I didn't realize it. You knew who you were marrying. No, I didn't. You knew who you were getting in a relationship with. No, I didn't. You knew he was going to beat your ass. No, I didn't. You knew she was going to cheat on you. No, I didn't. It's just stuff like that that people think. It's like everybody, you have these wise men and women who have all the answers that have never made any mistakes, especially in this space, that are know-it-alls, right? And forget the concept of being human and making mistakes, and fucking up, of being dumped, being heartbroken, being divorced, losing it all, catching your woman cheating, catching your man cheating, your man having kids outside the relationship, him getting other women pregnant, him giving you a STD, him making you get your tubes tied while he's getting other women pregnant. All kind of stuff out there, man. Strictly buns from now on. I get it, man. You feel me? Where we at with the likes? My mouse then went. Let me light up. Wait, there we go. My mouse went to sleep on me. 51 likes, man. We're halfway there. We're almost at an hour here. I got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes for you guys taking some calls here. I'm gonna stretch this out to an hour. Then I gotta get my little workout on. Shout out to Smooth. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Feel free to call in. The link is pinned in the chat. If you get your thoughts on these breakups, I know it's a cold world. This is like a divorce. If it's not, how are you losing stuff if you're not married to her? You saying you losing stuff. How are you losing stuff if you're not married? You got $1 million, man. Get your own place and kick her, get her up out of there. Serve her a 30-day notice and tell her she got to go. And you just move out and cut all the lights out. But she might destroy your place, though. Can't do that. You know, can't do that. Love is a beautiful thing, man. Don't let anybody tell you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Love is beautiful. It's not hurtful. Love doesn't hurt. You know, attachment hurts, not love. So let's not get into that, in terms of those things, man. You know, take it from me. They say for men, heartbreak is the rite of passage. Say manhood once you reach that point, because women always complain they're getting their heart broken. You know what I mean? So what else we got, man? I think I beat that topic. I beat that topic to death, man. I figured I don't come on here and talk about these topics like this often in terms of this. So I'm gonna start doing more topics, and I feel it's better live than to do a pre-recorded, which I probably will do some pre-recorded. But I used to do topics like this all the time when I first started my channel years ago. But I think I'm gonna start covering a lot more of these, um, based upon messages that I get in DMs and things that I see, just so that people can get a perspective, from me. 'Cause that's why you guys are tuned in, right? To get a perspective on it. So, you know, women love differently than men. This is true. You can definitely run with that. You know what I mean? But being in love is being in love, man. That's one of those things, man. That's one of those things that you just know. Sometimes you guys aren't in love. Sometimes you guys are just attached to somebody. Which love is a form, love's not supposed to be, I guess, depending on how you define it in terms of love being an attachment. But love is supposed to be free, though, right? As some people define it, love is supposed to be free. Love is supposed to be understanding. Love is supposed to be kind. Uh, love is supposed to be, you know, n- not being attached to someone. Love is beta, huh? Did your mother love you? You're incapable of loving a woman? Is that what you're telling me? I feel you, man. It's not for everybody. I'll never say that it's overrated, but I think those who have experienced it can say that, you know what I mean? Just my thoughts. Shout out to my moderator, Noir Bella QT. The links. If you wanna pin the links, Noir Bella, it's in the description of the video. So you can pin some of those links if you don't mind. I really appreciate you, beloved. You can start pinning some of those links. It's in the description of the video, so you can just copy and paste them in there if you don't mind. You know what I mean? Love is beta. Romantic love is beta. You can love family and kids and your dogs. Had to say the dogs and pets, huh? So romantic love is beta. I got you. Romanticizing. I think some people are maybe incapable. I would say incapable, but it's just the ego. The ego and not being in your heart space. The ego is telling you don't love this person because they're going to hurt you. What if they take my heart and run away? What if I walk in on them doing something? I have a fear of being in love because of what may happen. You know, I'm projecting. I'm projecting. Love is a choice. Very interesting. Sky House Buckhead. Sky House Buckhead, folks know me. Definitely getting a DNA test because I bought her an Escalade and she made up an argument and told her mama I kicked her out. So I threw all her stuff from the 17th floor. So Buddy live in Buckhead, huh? Man, I really we if QT Dub is in there, man, we got to get this show kicked off in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We gotta find some we gotta put that advertisement for some models out in Atlanta to come on the show. You know, so we get this kicked off. But yeah, Atlanta, man, I'm coming, man. You know, putting it together. I love my dog. Is that a dog? You love your dog way more than any woman? Sheesh. I feel you, man. Love your dog, man. That's good. You know, that's what's up. But guys, I don't wanna keep you guys on here and just keep talking in circles, you know, for sure. You know. So this has been dope. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you guys want me you said let you know. If you got some girls, man, I'm down in it. You know, me and QT Dub. If you can source some women for lack of a better term. When I say source women, I don't mean to offend anyone. It's just how it is when you got these shows and you have to get, you know, beautiful women on the show to get their point of view and perspective on it. You have to source them, you know what I'm saying? And women who are interested, beautiful models, women who aren't models, things like that. You definitely got to get that going, man. I got plenty bras in Atlanta, but they ain't mine. Mine tripping trying to leave. That's what's up, man. Buckhead browsing. You know, it's coming. It's coming. Hopefully for the end of the year, man, we'll have a few episodes in. So you guys stay tuned for that, man. But for sure, you know, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. As usual, you guys know tomorrow night, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got another episode of Let's Talk About with my lovely co-host Avery Woodley. I don't know what the topic is yet. We'll come up, we'll come up with something, uh, something interesting for sure. So you guys make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Also, man, on my live streams, I forgot what I was saying even before this. On my live streams now, I'm doing advertising and promotion. So if you guys are interested in running your ad or you like me to run your ad or have a spot during one of my live streams, make sure you hit me up. The link is in the description. Also doing YouTube coaching. If you guys are looking to start your channel, expand your channel, you want me to look at your channel, give you some advice, tips, things like that, hit me up. Purchase all my books and merch if you haven't yet. Helps us support the channel. Much blessings and abundance to you all. You know, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. You guys know what time it is. If you got any topics you'd like me to discuss like this, or you like me to cover on a live stream, make sure you shoot me a DM on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back. Or you can shoot me an email at jrwisdomunlimited@gmail.com if you got like a topic you'd like me to discuss similar to this. And I'll try to get on here and knock it out. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you know, you guys have been great. I'll be putting out some content tomorrow. I did a lot of recording today, so I didn't want to like go through the process of trying to rush the edit and things like that. So I figured I'd go on live so you guys can see my beautiful face, you know, and chop it up, fellowship with you guys. Um, Going outside, finding a female is easy. Come outside and find a woman close to impossible. It's nothing to go out in the city and find some women, but unmarried men. Um, Yeah, it's you can go out and find women everywhere. It's just women that's willing to get on camera and actually have a conversation is different. Or maybe we just haven't figured it out yet. But we'll get it together, man. We just gotta run some ads in Atlanta and we gonna get it going, you know. So for sure. Yeah. Hit me up with some topics you guys like me to discuss, man. Got you. So with that being said, I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys check out the video. If you guys are watching the restream, check out the video that's popping up on the screen on the way out. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram, and I'm gonna catch you guys later, man. You guys have been awesome. Shout out to everybody who gave a super chat. Y'all was throwing the ones in the building tonight. Shout out to everybody who threw the ones tonight, man. I appreciate it. And hey, we're gonna see y'all tomorrow. So I expect everybody here now that's watching this video to be in the live stream tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another episode of Let's Talk About. Me and Avery Woodley. We will be live, doing a live therapy session with you guys. So hey, check us out then, man. It's gonna be awesome as usual. It's gonna be lit. So with that being said, man, peace. We out of here.